My name is Emily Carter, and this is the story of how I lost love, found love again, and learned a truth that changed my heart forever. It is a simple story, but it carries a deep feeling. I hope you can learn English with me through this journey. 2 years ago, I met a man named Daniel Rivers. Daniel was tall, kind, and very handsome. He always had a warm smile, and people liked him everywhere he went. I liked him too. We started dating, and my life felt safe and full. We went to restaurants, watched movies, and held hands in the park. He met my family and I met his. His mother said I was good for Daniel. My mother said Daniel was perfect for me. I believed we would stay together for a long time. But one day, everything changed. 6 months ago, Daniel suddenly told me that he wanted to break up. He said, "Emily, I am sorry, but I don't feel the same anymore." His voice was quiet, and he did not look into my eyes. I did not understand anything. How could love stop so fast? How could my future disappear in one moment? I cried for many nights. I did not want to eat or see my friends. My bed felt too big. My home felt too quiet. Nothing felt normal. My friends tried to help. They told me, "You will be okay. Time helps." But time felt slow, and my heart felt heavy. I looked at old photos of Daniel and me. I read old messages again and again. I asked myself, what did I do wrong? But I never found an answer. I did not know then that sometimes the reason is bigger than what we see. After some weeks, I started living my normal life again. I went back to work. I met my friends, though I still felt sad sometimes. Daniel and I had many friends in common, so I still saw him at dinners and parties. He talked politely but stayed distant. He never looked into my eyes for long. I thought he just wanted to forget me. There was another person who was often there too. His name was Michael Stone. Michael was Daniel's best friend since childhood. They grew up together, played sports together, and knew everything about each other. I never looked at Michael in a special way before, but he was always kind to me. After the breakup, he always asked softly, "Are you okay, Emily?" and smiled in a way that made my heart feel lighter for a moment. My days felt empty. I went to work, came home, cooked simple food, watched TV, and tried to sleep. I felt lonely even when the world outside looked busy and happy. My friends wanted me to go out again. One Friday night, my friend Chloe had a party at her home. I did not want to go, but Chloe insisted. "Please come," she said. "You need to feel alive again." So I went. The house was full of people laughing, talking, and dancing. The music was loud, and the lights were warm. For a moment, I felt okay, but then I saw Daniel standing near the kitchen with a girl. She had long hair and a bright smile. She laughed at something he said. My stomach hurt. I looked away fast and walked to the other side of the room. I sat on a small chair and held my breath. I did not want to cry in front of anyone. A moment later, someone sat next to me. It was Michael Stone. He said, "Emily, you look sad. Do you want to talk?" His voice was gentle. I wanted to say yes, but I could not speak. He did not push me. He just stayed next to me until I felt calm. After a while, we talked about small things, movies, music, silly memories. He made me smile again. It was the first real smile after many weeks. From that night, something between us started changing. Michael wrote to me. He asked me to drink coffee with him. We sat in a small cafe near my office. We talked for hours. His way of listening was warm and patient. He remembered small details about me. He asked about my day every evening. A soft, warm feeling grew inside me, but at the same time, I felt scared. Michael was Daniel's best friend. It felt wrong, even if Daniel had moved on. Days became weeks. Coffee became lunch. Lunch became dinner. We talked every day, and I began to feel happy again. But I also felt guilty. One night, we sat in a quiet restaurant. Candles were on the table, and soft music played. Michael looked at me with serious eyes and said, "Emily, I like you more than a friend." My heart jumped. I felt happy but also afraid. I whispered, "Michael, I don't know what to say." "You don't have to say anything," he answered. "I just want you to know." But I could not stop thinking about Daniel and what people would say. I told Michael I needed time. After that night, I avoided him. I did not answer his messages quickly. I did not go to places where he might be. My friend Chloe noticed and asked what was wrong. I told her everything. She said, "Emily, you deserve happiness. Daniel left. You don't owe him anything." But my heart felt heavy. I did not understand why happiness could feel so confusing. One afternoon, I went to a quiet cafe. As I sat near the window, I saw Daniel walk inside. He looked surprised to see me, then smiled politely. He sat with me and asked how I was. We talked about simple things. My heart beat fast because I wanted to tell him the truth. I took a deep breath and said, "Daniel, I need to tell you something. Michael told me he likes me." Daniel looked down at his coffee for a long time. Then he said, "Emily, I broke up with you. You do not owe me anything." His voice was calm, but something in his eyes looked tired. "I hope you find happiness," he said. "Michael is a good man." I was surprised. I thought he would be angry or sad, but he smiled and said, "Take care of yourself, Emily." Then he stood up and walked away. After that talk, I felt lighter. I messaged Michael and asked to meet. We talked honestly. I told him my feelings and fears. He held my hand and said, "I don't want to hurt Daniel, but I care about you. Truly." I said, "I care about you too." From that moment, we chose each other. We took things slow, but every day, our love grew stronger. 3 months passed. Michael and I were happy. We went on dates, cooked together, and talked about the future. 1 year later, he asked me to marry him. I said yes. Our families were happy. Our friends supported us. Even Daniel sent a short message. "I am happy for you both." Then came the day of my wedding. The sun was bright. The flowers were white and soft. My dress was simple and beautiful. People were laughing and waiting. I felt nervous but full of joy. I was going to marry a good man, a man who cared deeply about me. But just before the ceremony started, the world changed. Michael's phone rang. He looked at the screen and his face turned white. He whispered something to my mother, and they walked away for a moment. When they came back, my mother held my hands tight. Michael looked down, unable to speak. "Emily," my mother said softly, "we just received news. Daniel Rivers passed away this morning at the hospital." The room around me grew quiet. My breath stopped. My vision blurred. Daniel? Gone? How? Why? I felt the walls closing around me. I sat down because my legs felt weak. People whispered softly, and the music stopped. I whispered, "He was sick?" No one answered at first. Then Michael's father nodded slowly. "Daniel had a serious illness. He didn't want anyone to know," he said. "He fought very hard." My heart broke into pieces. Suddenly, everything made sense. The breakup, the distance, his tired eyes, the way he avoided looking at me, the strange sadness in his smile. Tears fell down my face. I felt a deep pain, not because I wanted him back, but because I finally understood. Later that night, after the guests left and the lights were dim, Michael sat with me under the quiet sky outside the wedding hall. His hands were shaking. He said, "Emily, there is something I must tell you. something Daniel asked me to keep secret. My heart stopped again. Michael took a deep breath and said, Daniel knew he was very sick. He knew he might not live long. Before he broke up with you, he came to me. He said he loved you very much, but he didn't want you to suffer with him. He didn't want you to watch him get weaker. He asked me to take care of you after he was gone, if you ever needed someone. I felt a sharp pain in my chest. So, he left me because he loved me? I whispered with a trembling voice. Michael nodded. His eyes were full of tears. He loved you so much. He wanted you to have a future. He asked me to stay close, but only if you chose me on your own. He didn't want to control anything. He only wanted you to be happy. I cried in Michael's arms, not because of guilt, but because of the deep love Daniel had carried silently. He had been strong, gentle, and brave, even when he knew his time was short. He protected me in the only way he could, by letting me go. In the weeks after the wedding, I visited Daniel's grave. I brought flowers and sat quietly. I said, "Thank you for loving me. Thank you for being brave. I will never forget you." The wind blew softly, and I felt peaceful. Life continued. Michael and I built a home together with kindness and honesty, but in my heart, Daniel stayed as a warm memory, a gentle light, a reminder that true love is not always about holding on. Sometimes it is about letting the other person live freely. This story is simple, but it is true in feeling. Love can change shape, but it never disappears. And sometimes, the greatest love is the love we never knew we had. If this story touched your heart, please subscribe, not just for more stories, but for more moments that make you feel something again.